Hi, and welcome back to Wade's Guitar Lessons, where we are working on Frankenstein, replacing the pickups. And I want to just make a quick little video here to show you the process of what I do to do this. These guitars are a little bit more complicated than the other one. The one that I showed you, the building the second guitar, and the other ones, those have the set bridge, set tailpiece, so taking off the strings and doing that stuff is real easy. These, on the other hand, they're a little more complicated. Now, if you take all the strings off at one time, this bridge is going to fall into the cavity. And then when you put the new strings on, you're going to have to pull it up in order to tune it, and it's going to do this kind of stuff. And it takes a little while to do that. It can be kind of frustrating, actually. It takes a little while because you get one part in tune and the other part's out, and it just takes a little time to adjust it. So what I like to do is, usually what I do when I take off my strings is I'll just change one at a time. And that way I always have 5 strings holding this bridge where it needs to be. Because like I said, it's a floating bridge. It's being suspended by the strings on the top, and it's being suspended by springs on the bottom, so it's kind of floats. That's why they call it a floating tremolo. And so, since we're taking all the strings off at once, which is the only way I can do it to get to the pickups, I've got 2 options. Either I can prop something underneath the bridge here and try to hold that up while the strings are off, so that way when I put the new ones on, it won't be so much to, I won't have to bring it up so high to tune it. Or we can pop the bridge out and save the strings. So there's 2 ways of doing it. One way, I got to sacrifice the strings to hold the bridge up, or we got to pop off the bridge to save the strings, but that makes it a little bit more difficult to tune it when I go to tune it. And these strings are a little bit old anyway. I probably should replace them. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and go with the option of putting something underneath here, which I'm just going to use some guitar strings, and keep that propped up while I take the strings off. And then when I put the new strings on, this should stay roughly where it's at. It'll be a little bit down, but for the most part it should stay roughly where it's at. So, okay, so that's what we're going to do now. So what I've decided to do is, and I actually showed you how to pop this bridge out in another video that I made. So if you want to go back and look for that, if you have any questions about that, let me know in the comments and I'll find it for you and take you that link. But I did show you how to do that in another video series. So what I think I'm going to do is just go and leave that in there, and I'm going to take out the strings. And so we're basically just undoing the locking nut is what you want to undo. You don't have to take the whole thing out, just undo it. You don't want to lose the screws or anything, so I just undo it. Now I'll take my string winder right here. And I usually start with the high string. That way the other ones will still keep pressure on the bridge and keep it in place. I usually have a few winds on my post, so what I do is instead of trying to pull that through the nut and everything, I'll just clip it with my clippers, like that. And then I can pull the string through. And then disconnect it at the bridge. Okay? And so now, and this is another reason why you need this Allen wrench. So these guitars have these, it's a 3mm Allen wrench, and always keep this with you, with the guitar, in your case, something, because you're going to need it to take out your strings. So, and this is the reason why I don't really care for this bridge as much as the other one. It's kind of hard to switch out the strings like this. So hopefully, the next time I switch out the strings, I only have to do it one at a time, and I won't have something underneath here to hold this up. So it's either that or pop out the bridge and keep the strings on there, but since I showed you a video of doing that already, I decided to show something a little different here. Okay. Now with these locking tremolos, these are called a double locking system because of the fact that the string is locked, it's clamped in place here at the bridge, and it's clamped up here at the nut. And that's one of the reasons why when you use like a regular Fender Strat or a guitar like that doesn't have the locking nut, if you try to use a whammy bar like like Van Halen or somebody uses it, it's going to throw the guitar out of tune. Now if you use it for just little vibrato or something, then it's not too bad to do that. But for the most part, if you're going to use a whammy bar in rock and roll, at least modern rock and roll, it's really best to have a locking nut or some locking tuners, one of the 2, mostly the locking nut. So, and of course when you have that, it's a lot more of a different system of changing your strings than just putting them through and winding them. With these, you gotta cut off the little ball end so that you can stick them down in here in the bridge, and they'll just clamp in place. And these Allen wrenches can kind of, there we go. So I got a couple of them off already, and I'm not going to do all 6 of them because I will do all 6 of them. I'm just not going to shoot video for that because it's going to take a while, and I don't want that to be all boring. But that's the process that I'm using to replace these strings. Take off the strings so that I can get to the pickups, replace those, and put new strings on and hold the bridge up. So the best thing to do, like I said, hold the bridge up if you can, or if you want to let it fall into it, but it will take you longer to tune it. This way it shouldn't take me as long to get it into. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. If you have any comments, let me know. If you have anything you want to learn, let me know, and I will talk to you next time on our next video. Thanks.